Ciao, welcome to Habit 3. So, Habit 1 was about being in charge, about being proactive, making sure that you are responsible for everything that happens. Well, Habit 2 was about, okay, now we know that we are in charge, but let's see what we are in charge of. So, basically, it was about writing the script, writing the program, making sure that you know where you want to get. Habit 3 is habit of effectiveness, and it's about how do you manage your time and your priorities in the best possible way in order to make sure that you are getting where you want to get. And while I started talking about managing your time, it's more than managing your time about managing yourselves. And how do you manage your priorities and understand putting things in the calendar? How can you make the most out of your days? How can you be the most effective that you can be? And there are two simple methodologies that I want to introduce to you, which are there to help you organize your time better, to organize your priorities better. Because this habit says, like, if you do not schedule your priorities, you will just run on the schedules of other people and you will run on the priorities of other people. So it's very important to determine what is important to you and put those things in your calendars, put those things in your plans so you can actually execute on them. So the first one comes with this very cool matrix that has 4 quadrants. So this matrix is the matrix of prioritization, and it has 4 quadrants. There is a quadrant 1, which is first on the left side you have things that are urgent, and on the right side you have things that are not urgent. And on the upper part you have things that are important, and on the lower part things that are not important. So in this matrix of urgent and important, you have 4 different quadrants. Quadrant 1 are things that are urgent and important. So these are the emergencies, things that are happening fast, things that are happening immediately and you need to act upon them. Most of the days we are actually acting upon things that are here because those are the things that we clearly see, the deadlines that we have. You have an exam in 2 days and then you need to study a lot. This is spending time in Q1. Q3 is the time which we spend on things that are not important but are urgent. This is usually things that are important to other people. So things that are important to other people, not important to us, but we have to do them because they're kind of urgent. Then we have quadrant 4, which is things that are not important, not urgent, which usually where procrastination happens. So this is where we procrastinate. We spend a lot of time doing things that are neither urgent nor important, but we just do them. And then there is a quadrant 2, which is the most important quadrant, but paradoxically, a quadrant that we usually spend less time in, which is the quadrant of things where we do things that are important but not urgent. This is, for example, studying for an exam that you have in a month in time for it, because it's not urgent yet, but it is important because then it will allow you to have less things in the quadrant 1. So the habit here, or the practice here, is actually always understanding the time and understanding where you're spending most of your time and trying to prioritize things that are in quadrant 2 and to downgrade the amount of time that you're spending in quadrants 1, 3, and 4. So first thing that I'm going to ask you is go to your workbook and write down in the last couple of days what are all the things that you have been doing, and then try to allocate them between quadrants and see how your quadrants are allocated. When you see that, try to understand how can you make your priorities, how can you make your plans in a way that you're actually spending more time in quadrant 2. But then, in order to spend more time in quadrant 2, there is another important thing that I want to talk to you about, which is how do you organize your priorities and how do you build a routine for you day by day which can help you to be effective. So I'm going to share a bit about my routine and how I manage my time, and I think that can help you to get some ideas on what you can do. Every morning when I wake up, after finishing my meditation and I go into the office, first thing that I do is I take a piece of paper and I write down all of the things that I need to do in that day. So I write down all the tasks and deliverables that I'm facing, all the priorities that I have, both in the work, but also in non-work environment. When I need to study, I need to read a book, I need to call my mom, I need to call my friends, I need to go out. I write down all of those things. And I try to have an overview of my day, so I have a to-do list. Once I have a to-do list, I open my calendar and then I start scheduling things in my calendar. I do that in the beginning of the week for the whole week, and then in the beginning of every day I review my calendars. And that really helps me to be in charge of my time, to be in charge of where I'm spending my time, to plan my time better and plan my time accordingly. So my invitation to you is, why don't you start doing it? Why don't you starting your week by writing down all the things that you want to do and then putting those things in calendars? Organizing your week, organizing your priorities, so your priorities don't end up organizing you. Thank you very much.